Zoe C, reporting for Kids First. Today I'm here with Hugo Perez, director of the documentary Omara, which is a journey into the life of a Cuban singer that many of you may not recognize her name, but definitely will recognize her unforgettable songs. Huge congratulations on the film, by the way. I saw it in Calle Ocho, which was super special for me in Miami. And I think it's a really close place to Cuba, away from Cuba, obviously. So how did you get involved in this project?
Well, my family is from Cuba, and I've been going to Cuba now for like 25 years and worked on a lot of different things. And about 12 years ago, I met Omara and her son, and we kind of stayed in touch. And then about 4 years ago, I was doing a little interview with her for something else. And her son asked me, he said, nobody's ever made a good film about my mom. Are you interested? Do you want to do it? If you want to do it, let me know. And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Like, this could be a really, really special project. And so I said yes, and came back to the States and found some support for the film, and then we were off to the races. Went to Mexico City for the first shoot. I think at the end of 2017, we filmed with Omara and Segala in Mexico City.
Yeah, I think the final product ended. It was beautiful. I think so many people will be inspired by the story. Once you were on board, when did you decide, or how did you decide which part of her life you wanted to include in the documentary?
Making a documentary is is a complicated thing, because obviously if in an hour and a half or 76 minutes, you can't tell somebody's entire life in great detail. And so I think it was the process of just filming with her, and over time, as we had like more footage, then it became clear kind of which moments we were going to highlight. There's certain moments like her childhood, her parents were like biracial marriage, and sort of the racism that they experienced. What it was like for her to start her solo career, basically at the same time that the like revolution in Cuba changed everything. Some of the challenges she had to overcome. And then the big phenomenon of Buena Vista Social Club coming and giving her like another phase in her career. So a lot of these things just kind of fell into place. Like the moments that were key to her life just kind of fell into place as we made the film.
Yeah, and she has such a great career and has been doing it for so long. Like, it's so shocking to me how she's 91, I believe, and still doing stuff. And I'm sure to meet her is just to love her and her personality. In the documentary, you could definitely see how witty she is, but funny, and how sweet Omara truly is. So how was it working with her, and what impresses you the most from her?
It was great to work with her. I mean, because I was asked by the son to do this, I sort of became like like a family member, sort of. Whenever I was around, I was just kind of like some distant cousin. I wasn't like the filmmaker coming in. I was just like the kind of guy that in the family that has a camera. So it was a very familial relationship that I had. And I guess the two things that struck me most about her was her kind of her humility. She's an icon in Cuba, all over Latin America, and a lot of the world. But the way that she interacts with people is very humble, and she's very generous with her time. She's very kind to people, that everybody wants to have a little piece of her. And she's always very kind to people, so that was one thing. And the other thing is her sense of humor. I mean, you can see in the film that she loves to have fun and kind of make fun of people and like poke them a little bit, get a rise out of them. And she's very quick, she's always got like a comeback for anything you say to her. So yeah, those were two things.
For sure. I love how real she is, and how like she's a godmother to everyone in Cuba. I'm sure if you see her walking, she'll be very welcoming. And I think that the documentary really showed that I didn't really know about Omara before this, so I thought it was a great opportunity to learn about an icon as well, because her music and her voice, she's just so talented, you know. And I'm grateful for your film because I heard Buena Vista Social Club and of course Celia Cruz, but I had never heard from Omara. So do you think she is underestimated by the media?
I think that in because of the relationships between the U.S. and Cuba, she's not as well known in the U.S. as like the rest of the world. But if you talk to anybody like in Latin America, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, if you say her name, they know who she is. In Puerto Rico, if you say her name, they know who she is. And so I do think that she is not as well known in this country as she could be. And to me, that's a shame because I think she's, top tier talent. She's like a Cuban Ella Fitzgerald, right? And that's been changing a little bit. And hopefully she's got a new album coming out. And she's going to do what may be her final tour this fall. And she's going to be in the US for a couple of weeks. So hopefully people get to know her a little bit better. Hopefully the film helps people know her a little bit better.
Yeah, that's how I perceived it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will do so as well. I mean, it's crazy how like I'm not gonna say how old, but how age full she is and how she's still producing music or coming out with an album. That's insane. And how was the process of obtaining the footage and like archiving materials? How was that whole process of like putting everything together?
Well, most of the film is footage that we shot, but we did use a lot, some archival footage and photos. A lot of that stuff we got directly from the family. It turns out that Amada and her family kept scrapbooks. And so there were just like scrapbooks, it's like a whole shelf of scrapbooks of photos from like, her childhood until, like now. So, we had, I don't know, hundreds, if not thousands of photos to like look through and choose from. The footage was a little bit more complicated to get. A lot of like the archives, not just in Cuba, but in other countries are not as well organized as they could be. But we were able to find some great performances of hers starting from like the late 50s when she was with the Cuarteto de Aida, in 60s, 70s, some really great stuff that was not so familiar to people. So, I know that, I'm sure that, it's funny, like 10 years from now, like archives are always getting organized and new stuff is coming up. I'm sure in 10 years, there's going to be like stuff that all of a sudden has been found. So, but we were lucky we were able to dig up the stuff that we did.
And I love how she doesn't really consider herself, I don't know, a diva, and she won a Grammy and didn't even know. I think that's what happened in the film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. She is a very private person. She likes to spend time with her family. She has like her neighbors and her friends. She's very private, but also at the same time, she's very friendly. If you walked up to her on the street and said hello, she would be like, hey, yeah. So, but she's very private, but also very friendly.
Right, and because of that, how did you manage to include and have shared so much about her valuable moments about her life when she was not on stage?
Do you mean the stuff that we filmed of her just when she wasn't on stage, or? Yeah, my approach was that we were just going to be with her, on the trips that we went on together with her. We tried to have the camera around as much as possible, and I knew that those private moments, like when in the dressing room when we're hanging out, or when she's hanging out with friends, were things that we're going to. That's where you really see her. You see her on stage performing, but then you see her interacting with people, and then her personality comes through.
And I love that you did so. I think it added a really nice touch to the film. Thank you, Hugo, for talking with us today. Omara will be in theaters and on a lot of streaming platforms. So what do you want your audience to take away from the film?
I want the audiences to have a good time and get to know Amada, and really, the songs are love songs. It's all about love, and so I hope that all the audiences go out and fall in love with somebody, and then listen to the music.
Right. Well, thank you so much. Love talking to you, and I love the documentary. Huge congratulations.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you.
Thank you. I had a lovely time talking to Hugo about Omara. Beautiful documentary. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, don't forget to give a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to check out some of our other Kids First reviewers and reporters on this channel. See you in the next one.
Gardenias para ti, que tendrán todo el calor de un beso, de ese beso que te di que jamás encontrarás en el calor de otro querer. A tu lado vivirán y te hablarán como cuando estás conmigo. Y